and family. It is shortly after 2 o'clock here on the West Coast, and it's Tuesday, so you know it must be time for SPAC Chat Live. I am so happy to be back with you guys today talking about a topic that kind of is related to some of the news, but let me just start with some news at the top of the hour. First of all, I did share with all of you and all of our communities some of the upcoming important dates. I will be sharing that graphic periodically on all of our social medias just to keep you all on track. But we did announce the dates of SPAC 2027 on that as well. The first thing I want to mention is if you are interested in becoming more involved in SPAC, we do have an opening on our executive board of directors. So we are currently opening in applications, and you need to send us 2 letters of recommendation. One needs to be from a service provider, a little bit of a resume. Just tell us what you've done, how long you've been in business, and what areas you work in. And application is on Google, and I have sent out that email. It is also posted on our website. If you can't find any of that, you know my email, spacgal@gmail. Just send me an email and I'll send you the direct link. We also are currently in the process of receiving a lot of applications from our high school seniors all over the United States. This opportunity allows high school seniors who are what we're calling young creatives, perhaps that student who worked on your yearbook, or maybe a student who's in photojournalism at the school. You know the kind of kid that possibly could be a great employee of yours in a couple years. We have a scholarship where they get $1,500 cash and they get a Sony camera with a lens, a full kit. It is a great opportunity for a lot of our youth out there who are perfect for our industry. Now, when we ask for the application, we ask them how they heard about it. And if your company is mentioned in that, and that student is a recipient of the scholarship, we are going to mail you the big check as well as the camera. All we ask in return is that you just take a photo for future marketing. That's all we need. This is a great opportunity to walk into a school perhaps that you don't have right now. Make a poster, have it printed, stick a poster up on their wall. This is a great opportunity for everybody. So I hope you take advantage of that and send out that information. Again, I've sent it to you via email. It does come with a media kit with one of the flyers, leaving a space for your business. So you want to make sure you take advantage of that. The other deadline coming up is going to be opening on May 1st, and that is our speaker submissions for speakers for 2027. The deadline to fill that out is July 5th because we do start working on our educational component in July. Now, that is going to be a simple Google form as well. We ask you some information regarding the class that you're looking to submit your topic about. We don't need all the details quite yet, but just enough so that our education advisory group can evaluate your program and we can start our programming for 2027. I know it feels like we just left each other in Vegas yesterday and we're already talking about 2027, right? Well, I just want to wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day today. I'm going to bring on our host, Calvin Harrell. Calvin, why don't you come up here and say hi to the folks? You're muted, Calvin. I can't hear you. Anybody else? Can you hear Calvin down below? My guess you can't hear Calvin. Can you hear me though? You can hear me. Okay, Calvin, why don't you work on that? I'm going to go ahead and bring on our guests today. Today we are talking about the preschool and childcare center business. Okay, so that's where it does start for many. I hear you now, Calvin.
Wonderful. Thank you. I am so sorry. And thanks for bringing those guests on. That was a good slide there, Corey, right into the, the flow works real well. Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Hello to yesterday or hello to tomorrow from where we are, because we're all around the world with SPAC. It's an exciting time for us. Today we have special guests. We saw the necessity to bring forward, and one of our speakers is going to be coming online just a second, Miss Nikki. But we've got Lauren and we've got Tia here today to share with us information related to preschools and preschool photography, the recruiting, the timing, the difference between preschool services and services to an elementary school or other type of entity, because each of them requires specific, shall we say, skills or specific service components. We received information about 30 days ago to a month ago that one of the major preschool companies, preschool service providers, has ceased operations in the preschool market. Of course, they had millions of dollars in their marketing and in their efforts. And so when they cease operation, it creates opportunities for us. Certainly, you have to analyze what's the reason that they ceased. But at the end of the day, we have to be hunters. We have to be like mining for gold. Sometimes the vein is good. Sometimes you don't find the vein. You still got to dig. And this gives you the opportunity to dig. So without further ado, let's find out who's with us and where they're from, and let's dig in. Lauren, share with us where you're from, where you're working out of.
Hey, I'm Lauren Moore. I own Snap Happy Preschool Photography, and we are based out of Central Alabama.
There we go. All right, Miss Tia. Uh-oh.
Hey, sorry, I was muted. I'm Tia Norsum. I live in Colorado and I run my preschool business and elementary school business, Norsum Photography, in Chicago and the surrounding suburbs.
Well, wonderful. Midwest. Miss Nikki, we know who you are. You've been around a long time and a very valuable partner to the SPAC community. Share with us where you're at, Nikki, and I'm going to rely on you to be some of the lead on this conversation.
Awesome. Well, I'm actually in Maui this week where there's a flood. And so I did have to make adjustments today. I did bring all of my lighting that doesn't have that doesn't need electricity. So it's a little different, but I'm in the storm right now in Maui.
Okay, and communications and connectivity probably are going to be a challenge.
It might. One fun fact, though, this preschool I'm at today in Maui was the last preschool that I photographed in 2020 for the pandemic. And it's kind of funny that this is the same week, right? March 17th, if we all remember 2020. In 2020, March 15 is when the world shut down. So it's just kind of funny how this particular school is always an iconic school for me, and it's never missed picture day yet.
You know, as we look at things, it's funny how you're identifying just a specific school and a date tied to that, or a life experience, or et cetera. If we look at timelines, opportunities open up every 7 to 10 years. Huge opportunities open up for all of us. We have to be able to learn to read the tea leaves, to see what's going on in the industry, in technology, and in the perceptions of our actual clients, because their attitudes change, or their perspectives of organizations change over time. So it's an opportunity for us to get out there and pick up new business. All right, so let's get started. Tell us about the baseline things that preschools present, the opportunity that they present. And Nikki, I'm going to start with you, then we'll move to Lauren, and then Tia, sorry. And I hope, Nikki,
so the one beautiful thing about preschool, yes, I can. The one beautiful thing about preschools is they don't require all of the service products. And because of that, you can do very simple setups with the schools and simple back end work. That's why I love preschool so much. It's a very easy program, and what I've noticed is sales are really high again. And I'm kind of surprised. I didn't expect it, but I noticed that sales this year in preschools are up 15%, which is so.
All right, Nikki, we're having real problems.
It's so grateful.
Nikki, we're having real problems with your signal. I don't know if you're on Wi-Fi at that location or if you're on SIM card. Um, can you stabilize that? And we'll move over to Lauren right now and get her to share with us some insight. Lauren, would you give us some insight, follow up with what Nikki was sharing, please? You're still muted, Lauren. Oh, this is a good day.
There we go. Sorry about that. So one thing that I really love about preschools is that we have this amazing, tiny little bubble of magic.
I still can't hear her.
Right? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
we can hear you.
Okay, great. So we're in this like tiny little magic bubble from this 6-week age to this 4-year age, especially with first-time parents, where everything these kids do, good, bad, or ugly, they think is amazing. And they're so excited about these pictures. And we come to our schools about 4 times a year, sometimes somewhere between 2 to 4 times a year. We're at our schools. And every single time, especially in those early years, they change, and we get to watch that. We get to be a part of it. And we get to go back, and when we're taking their cap and gown pictures when they're graduating pre-K, a lot of the times I can go back to when they were in the nursery and find images from every year. And it's just wonderful getting to watch them grow. That's my favorite thing about preschools.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And Tia, what about you? You're muted, Tia.
We'll figure this out soon enough. So I love the opportunity to get multi-pose galleries and a variety of expressions, which we do also do in elementary, but things are moving a lot quicker in elementary schools. And the nice thing with preschools is often you are photographing over 2 mornings, and maybe you have 50 kids in a morning, and you can spend a little bit more time with each kid to get a variety of poses. So we offer about 6 poses or expressions in the gallery, and it's a chance to be creative, a little bit more fun. You can incorporate props or not. Because often we go back twice a year, you can have a more classic picture day and then have a more themed creative picture day and do things like Lauren does with her creative backgrounds. So, and then the piece of it being just mornings usually works really nicely for some of the photographers we hire that are parents themselves. So they love the idea of it being a short morning. So you show up at 7:30 and they're done by 11:30 because the preschools want you out of there.
You know, it's interesting when you talk about the labor component and the ability to photograph the event early and in and out with only 50 heads at a time. It's easy to do that. You know, at the outset of this industry, mothers would do the work. Companies could hire mothers to do the work because they drop their kids off at school. They go to work for a few hours, and it was to earn money for Christmas, extra money, because they were building up a Christmas nest egg so they'd have money without affecting the whatever other household income that they had. So what you're sharing with us is in this particular business model or this particular segment of the business, the ability to hire part-time is increased, and people don't want part-time oftentimes don't want full-time, that are involved in this particular segment, as opposed to in other segments where they're like, I need a full-time job if I'm going to do this, which becomes prohibitive cost-wise. Would you agree?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I have several stay-at-home parents, moms and dads, that have their spouses working full-time, and they're able to, get a sitter for a couple of hours, and it works really well. So usually most of the photographers I have want to work no more than 2 mornings a week.
Okay. Hey, Nikki, thank you for getting set up on a stable environment. Can you share with us, again, it's not really a rehash because we couldn't really hear. Can you share with us your insight on the market of the industry, that it's element of the industry?
So, well, the preschool market is here to stay, and we won't be replaced. And the amazing thing about the preschool industry right now is parents are buying a lot of pictures again. And I've seen the sales go up 15% with 100% participation. I was shocked last week on the sales. And I think that that's one thing that's amazing. And it's because we have a little bit more time to get natural smiles and clean poses, multiple poses. So I think that's what makes preschools unique.
Say, is that 15% adjusted for your cost increase or your pricing increase over the past year?
Yeah. So interesting enough, machines that I use, I didn't have prices that much because my products are the same price. If you have heard, paper and ink is going to go up 30%. Well, it so happens that my system is the only system that isn't increasing in paper or ink. It is the same. So we only had to our prices 3%. So yes, 13 to more after.
Okay,
I'm
we're
a
still
little
losing. We're still not stable. So I'll just get a question and you can give a yes or no. So at a three, you had a 3% increase, although you don't have an increase in the expense of your paper and supplies, with a 15% overall. So you have a 12% actual increase in sales. Is that accurate? That's lovely.
yes, correct.
That's quite nice. On a 3-point and pick up 12 points on your sale. That's huge. Anybody would desire to do that. Now, what is it that you're doing that you're not going to have to experience an increase in the cost of materials and supplies?
I'm staying with my old system.
And what is that
I'm still
for our audience?
I'm still printing off of my DX100s, and the DX100s paper and ink isn't increasing this year.
All right. Well, that's a piece of information that folks really need to hear, I think. Very valuable information.
I should also say that the DX100s are no longer available to purchase. And if you do have a DX100, you can send them to Fuji and they will fix it. And I advise that for now because the prices are stable and it would be worth it in the long run.
Okay. And you're self-fulfilling all of your orders, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And I
Let's
just
move over to
purchased a magnet maker. So I'm also doing magnets.
Okay. Let's move over to Lauren and find out. Lauren, are you self-fulfilling in your environment, or are you sending to an outside lab?
No, I use Richmond and Color Ink, and they are fantastic. We actually this year just started with Color Ink, and they have been amazing to us. The quality has been fantastic. They're so fast. We've been so happy with them. We've used Richmond a lot within our preschool settings. They're so affordable and wonderful. So we have some incredible labs that we partner with, and they're just great. I couldn't do it without them.
Excellent. And what about you, Tia?
So I'm also using Color Ink integrated with Got Photo.
Okay. All right. Very good. And then, Nikki, are you photographing your subjects? Are you capturing to any specific software? There's a variety, whether it be Captura, Photo Day, Got Photo. There's a host of them that are out there. Nikki, we can't hear you.
No, I'm OG. I take the pictures, I put it in Lightroom and renumbered them.
And then you're not selling on spec though, are you?
We print out 3 images and staple it onto an order form.
Okay, I'm kind of confused. What do you mean you print out 3 images and staple to an order form? Are you saying you send a proof?
Yes.
Okay.
So out of our DX100 in Lightroom, we have a template that we made and we just print out 3 proofs. Well, 3 images on 1 proof and we staple it to an order form. And that's why I've been getting 100% sales again. I find that online, it takes too
Mhm.
long for people to order.
And it's a wide open window. One, if they don't even look at their emails, how do you even know that they've, that they're being able to place an order? So, what about you guys, Tia and Lauren? Are you guys doing online? Well, you're using Got Photo, Tia, and Lauren. I don't know if you're using an online service provider or are
I
you doing?
do. I
Okay.
use Photo Day and I love Photo Day. Like
Oh.
they have made so many amazing
Mhm.
improvements just since SPAC. Like we had some discussions at SPAC and they really listened and turned a lot of things around for us that like we have pre-registration that we do through Photo Day now and it has changed the game for my business personally. We do pre-registration so that we have a kind of an intent to buy. So we don't photograph every child when we go in. We do have that pre-registration. So we actually have pre-communication with the parents. And then when we put them up, when we put our pictures up, we run a 48-hour buy all sale. So our buy all is normally $125. And for those first 48 hours, they can get them $499. So we have emails and text messages going out. And that's making those first couple of days really hit a high for us.
Outstanding. You're both using outside online providers. Now, what we heard from Nikki earlier is that she's had a 12% increase in sales year over year with her program. Have you seen a similar increase in the number of buyers year over year that she's saying she's at 100% buy rate? What are you guys seeing in your sectors?
I'm seeing less people register and the people who register buying more. Does that make sense? Like
Absolutely.
our average order value is going up, but the amount of people, like we're noticing it with the economy and how people's jobs are going and how that's going, that less people are committing, but the people who are committing are ordering larger orders.
Okay. And that's been the trend from the outset. In fact, I believe Photo Day actually came into the market with lesser concern about selling to everyone and more of a concern of creating an environment that would create higher order average order values, AOV, which, it's philosophically, it's what they've done. I'm one to say, hey, I want to sell something to everyone because at the end of the day, as more people have pictures and buy pictures, other people jump in and say, I am missing out. I need to buy these also. So that's there's some philosophical, practical matters. Tia, what about you?
I've definitely had a drop in the order rate. So less people participating over the last few years, last 2 years or so. So we've been trying to analyze what's going on there. I have some concerns over the screenshot and AI issue. But I do have a consistently high order average. So like Lauren said, those that are ordering, we still have around that $100 order average. So I am contemplating doing a little bit of what Lauren does in terms of kind of that prepay, pre-registration with intent to buy. I don't know that that's going to stop those that are screenshotting and using AI because it's still cheaper to get all the images if they're going to do that. But I do want to start to integrate some of the things that are being offered, like through Got Photo, to deter people from screenshotting the images.
Well, most definitely, that's we're all driven that direction. In fact, we're trying to arrange a SPAC chat with some various people that have put together solutions for that. Those solutions being integrated into mainline programs is going to be the next challenge, and I certainly hope that they're addressing that. We'll find out where they are shortly. The idea of what Lauren suggested was that she's only photographing the students that are pre-registering. That's a unique piece. When we deal with public institutions, public schools, these are private institutions that you're dealing with that have a preschool component. When we're dealing with a public school, we have the obligation of photographing 100% of the population. So in going into the elementary market, individuals have the ability to be more selective in the clients that they're serving. Do you find that to be an accurate condition?
Yeah, we don't have to worry about, like, we can almost pre-qualify our schools before we ever walk into one. We can decide like what kind of school we're looking for in order to get those higher numbers. So we absolutely pre-qualify every school that we prospect to. We put out a large blanket at first, and then we start narrowing that down as we're doing our prospecting.
Wonderful. And Tia, what about you guys?
We're able to customize the pricing a little bit. So normally we do offer a 10% discount or 10% donation back to the schools. So I do offer kind of customized pricing and say if you would prefer to have lower pricing for your families based on the population or what they're used to, then that we can give that money back to the parents in the form of some lower prices. So we might do less images instead of taking six images per child, we might do 4. And we'll give schools, a year or 2. If we still are not making a profit, then we will figure a way out.
One of the things, and this is something industry wide, we have to recognize is that the question of paying commissions comes up oftentimes, paying rebates or commissions. We don't call them kickbacks. Kickbacks implies virtually an illegal activity. These are open, it's written down on the agreement, whatever the agreement is, as to what are the terms and conditions and that sort of thing. But what we did many years ago was we switched the idea to a tax. When you talk in the terms of, do you want to put a tax on your parents, just like the government? We can charge a tax and give you that money. And all of a sudden, the administrator or the person we're speaking to freezes up, and they're like, "Huh? What do you mean?" Well, we add it to the packages, just like taxes are added to the packages, and you can get that. Would you like to add this 10% tax? Oh, no, I don't want to tax my parents. Oh, okay. So it's just something you guys I suggest that folks need to build into their vocabulary is the analogous conditions that they can say, hey, look, it's like a tax. If you want money out of this, then we can give you the money, but it can't come out of our price. These are our prices. We'll charge taxes like the government charges. Okay. I don't have any administrators that want to charge their parents taxes. Those that do are in it. They're actually driving the idea of, I'm doing this as a fundraiser, period. That's a completely different conversation as opposed to we're providing this service. These are the elements of the service that we're providing, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you for sharing the idea that you actually provide a commission, but you also have the discussion related to, hey, we can reduce services to provide you with this. That's a great way to go. Hey, what is the difference?
Yeah, I mean, we like to be able to try to work with every school to give them the opportunity for their kids to have these amazing pictures and this experience. Sometimes it doesn't work out. I think it goes both ways in terms of us really communicating what our model is, our approach, our images, our pricing, for them to see if we're a good fit for them also.
Absolutely.
So I think they also need to be aware of what their parents are accustomed to coming from maybe a Life Touch or another company, and what that transition might be like. And so what type of communication they may need to offer to their parents to show kind of that raised value that we offer.
One of the questions that popped up was what components of the preschool business are different than the traditional public school business? Are any of you doing regular traditional public schools or elementary schools? Let's just go there. Just elementary schools outside of the specific preschool market. Yes, Nikki. Lauren, only preschools?
I do.
And Tia, do you do elementary schools as well?
Yes, we have a handful.
Okay. Now, between Nikki and you, we should be able to get some information. What do you find to be the radical differences between a preschool and an elementary, a traditional public school? Go ahead, Tia.
There are many radical differences.
Okay.
I'll just give a few. I'd say the main thing is the ages and stages that you need to be knowledgeable of with the preschool population. So the type of photographer and their experience it's very different. So you need to have photographers that truly understand the babies and the toddlers and how to work with each one individually. Whereas at an elementary school, you can pretty much give similar prompts or have a similar approach with a kindergartner as you might have a fourth grader, with a little bit of varying, but you don't need to change your entire kind of approach or volume or positioning, posing. There's a lot that goes into preschool photography in that sense.
Excellent. And Nikki, can you give us the differential? Because I know you've been doing it for quite a while. You're
Yeah,
muted.
so it's the time. I'm muted right now.
You're good. You're good.
So it's the time. Oh, it's the time that elementary schools give us to photograph kids. You know, it's so crazy how they give us 15 minutes to photograph, 60 kids. And it's so different because at a preschool, for a class, we get an hour. So that was the first thing I had to learn. The other thing that's been always hard for me is everybody knows that I do multiple poses. So this spring was the first time I did multiple poses at a public school, and I don't think it worked out well. I didn't get the sales that I thought I would have, and it's because I went online and I did it. I feel like right now online is very sticky. All of the schools that I do order forms, that's where I get higher sales and more participation. Online right now, because of AI, I think too many people are screenshotting and doing them and then going and printing them at Walmart or whatever. So I think that that's going to really affect us in the long run. Is the online, how are we going to navigate it? Because for me, I'm going back to order forms.
So Nikki, with what you're saying, you have a very strong level of trepidation about the future, the immediate future anyway, of the online sales. And this is triggered by a host of things that are going on societally. So you're not going to be online. You're going to be direct to sale through order envelopes. Is that correct? So let me ask you. Go ahead.
I was surprised how many people put cash in envelopes still.
Mm-hmm. Well, the price that we charge for our products is not very much, and so they got 30, 40, 50 bucks. Two 20s is a 40, right? So they've got money to that they can put in the envelope. We got Matthew in here. We're going to bring him to the stage. Hey, Matt, don't interrupt my program, man. I'm in the flow.
I'm just here vibing, bro.
That's right. Vibing. Hey, Lauren and Tia, I need to find out from each of you. Are you planning, or do you give any thought to the idea of following up? Tia, you wouldn't be able to do it because you're not photographing everybody. I'm sorry, Lauren. Tia, do you photograph everybody in the preschool, or only those that pre-register and pay?
No, yes, I photograph everybody because we're not doing pre-registration, prepay at this point.
But you're using Got Photo.
Mm-hmm.
Are you following up after your sales cycle period? Are you following up and sending out a order form or proofs to those parents, hard copy to those parents that have not placed an order, in an attempt to increase the number of orders that you have? Because as you've indicated, you have a lower volume of orders, although the average order value has increased.
Yes, so we've been inconsistent with this, but I do want to do this more with the preschools. We've been doing it with elementary, where we will print out the proof sheets through Got Photo for the families that have not ordered, and then we'll have them hand those out.
We do that as well through Photo Day.
Okay, and in your experience, are you seeing a relatively significant, let's just say a 30% of those that have not bought, are you seeing about a 30% bump in orders based on that paper order form?
I can't really speak to that. We've done it a few times and I haven't calculated it.
Okay. And
That's a
Lauren,
good question.
Lauren, any idea on yours?
That's kind of where we're at as well. We just started doing that this
Okay.
season. When I
Okay.
went to SPAC, I talked to the people at Photo Day, and they were like, "Oh, take one of your manual flyers." And they actually have an option on Photo Day where you can take that manual flyer and send it to the organization, and it has this really cool message already attached to it in the email that says something like about, "Hey, we loved photographing you for our picture day, and it takes us working together. These are the parents who haven't logged in or haven't placed an order. We would love for you to print these out and send them to your parents." And it's automatically through Photo Day. So I just put in their email and it makes it super fast. It's wonderful. So we just started doing that this season, and we just started season about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I really can't tell you yet.
Okay.
But I could also print those and take them to the school for them to do that as well.
Yeah, it's surprising you get them to print it at the school. They're printing it to distribute it. That's a real surprise. I know out here in California, our schools are so broke they can't pay attention. So they don't. I'd have to donate the paper, which no biggie. You can have the paper, but I'd rather give it to them in a quality way. Matt, I'm going to pull you in now here because you're an all-around cool dude. Okay, Matt, and thank you for joining us. I really like it. Share with us, you're also online with your orders through, I'm not sure who you're with any longer. So you're online, and are you doing any follow-up to your schools or certain segments of your schools? Because you're running elementary, middle, and high.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's kind of a loaded question.
It is.
So we did, back when we were with Got Photo, we're with Captura right now. And the one thing I really liked about Got Photo that Captura doesn't have is Got Photo allowed us to view every gallery that had not been viewed. Mm-hmm. And so you could go in and you could actually see it wasn't just if they hadn't ordered, you could see if it had never gone through. And the thing that we figured out was that there was like a disproportionate population that were families that didn't speak English at home, that didn't read their emails, that didn't go through and check it.
Yeah.
And so I honestly, I feel like a moral obligation to make sure that every family has the opportunity to view their pictures. So for us, it's not a sales game. It's just it's the right thing to do. Now, with that said, we work with some really big schools. So what we have found out is like our biggest high school, there's like 4,000 kids in one building. They are not logistically going to hand out these flyers to the kids. Like it's too much of an ask. We print them out for every middle school and lower school, but we ask if they want them. And so they don't have to get them, but we just say, hey, if you want this, we'll print them out. We'll send them to you. It's no charge. It's no obligation. We just want to make sure. And then we also had we gave step-by-step ordering instructions. I think we have it in something like 17 languages. So we have it in like Vietnamese and Russian and Somali and Spanish and everything you can imagine. And so we provide the schools with all of those because, of course, we don't get those demographics from the schools about what languages families may speak at home. So we provide them with all of those at no charge. And then we say, if you need anything else, we'll do it for you, no charge. Just let us know.
How interesting. So you've turned it into an actual, the way you're presenting it to the school is it's actually a service that you're providing. And the school buys in because schools are inclined to say, oh, no, we want everybody to get it. Yes, we'll supply it. So that's a very smooth way to go, Matthew, cool, all around cool dude. So that's very powerful. Are there any other unique thing? Corey, go for it. I'm sorry. Go for it, Corey.
I do. I have a question. Okay, so I've seen preschool pictures. They've got a ton of props and all the setup of some of the setups is incredible, which obviously differs than an elementary school. So if you were going to make a shot at the preschool market, you booked your first preschool, but you don't want to invest a ton of money, what 3 things would you invest in for a good set for a preschool shoot or daycare shoot?
I think I have the most dramatic sets of this group. And if you're only getting 3 things, get a good, really cute backdrop, a good floor, and something to sit, like a seating element. It could be a stool. It could be like a wicker puff. And the seating element kind of has to, you can't just get one, because a stool or a puff is going to work for 1 through 4, but you do need something that you can put babies in if you're photographing preschools that have babies. But yeah, if you can only have 3 things and you need it to be quick, fast, and dirty, a floor, a backdrop, and a stool. But our backdrops, like, that's all we bring. Very rarely do we have props. Our spring set right now has a basket of flowers that we put behind our chair just to kind of give it a little bit of a 3D dimension. But our backdrops do the bulk of the work in that.
How interesting. How very interesting. I'm going to pop something up here real quick. Corey, I don't know if we're okay on time. You got to tell me. I'm going to pop something up real quick. I hope I can get it. It's something that I was blessed to have my grandson, my one and only, although we're expecting a second one now, which is wonderful. My one and only grandchild was at the SPAC conference as a model for Nikki. And Nikki shared, was able to take his picture. And I got to say, it was a simple background. It was a painted background. I loved it. And more so, I love the picture, and she didn't even charge me for it. I was so happy because
Calvin, show the one with your dad. Sorry, not that I don't love your grandson, but the one with your dad and him was just. And you know what? Why aren't we doing photos on Grandparents' Day? I don't know. Is that a thing anymore? Remember?
Oh, we do that. We do that.
I remember that.
We don't do it on preschool day. We do it at some of the high schools have grandparent days up here. So
yeah, and I've even incorporated for senior portraits. We even put it out to, hey, you can bring your parent or grandparent, mom, dad, or grandma, and we'd be happy to take your picture with them. You know why? Because 1, it's priceless. 2, it's a sale. Mm-hmm. You know, if you can imagine, that's a 95-year-old with his 3-year-old grandchild. How much would that 95-year-old pay for that picture? He doesn't have to pay anything because his granddaughter's going to buy it and give it to her grandfather. So it's just one of those things that, how many of us have a picture with our great grandfather? How valuable is that? It's priceless. So I'm going to come off of that, though, because I know you don't want to be bored with my pictures. So this has been wonderful. Let's talk about the sales season or sales cycle. You know, preschools are year round, I would presume. They don't run the same time frame as, and I'm presuming, because I don't do them, they don't run the same cycle as do traditional school pictures. Is that accurate? 1. And if it is, when is the ideal time to go out and solicit the business to do business? Anybody can answer that.
I would love to step in. I'll step in that. So the beautiful things about preschool is it's year round. And I've always targeted preschools around the elementary schools. So during the spring, for instance, like right now, I photograph in more rural areas because they get their income tax back. So February, March, I do outer islands, I do lower income families because they have extra money around, right? And the great thing about the preschools is you can also do it during the summer. So if a new school comes onto my schedule, I'll photograph them in the summer to see participation, how the teachers work with us, because I've been in the industry so long, I actually don't have open dates anymore. But we are growing. I am adding new photographers onto my schedules. But this year I had 5 cameras out on one day. And that's a lot for an island. So I think that the beautiful thing about preschools is it keeps employees employed, right? You got your elementary schools in August and September. And then you can do preschools for the next couple of months and then back in the spring. So it's a great way to keep your employees full-time employees.
Very interesting. We use youth sports as our tie-in because we can run year round with all of the youth sports. What about Lauren and Tia? What about you guys?
So we do, like I said, most of our schools, we're there 2 to 4 times a year. And our primary seasons are fall. We do fall starting in the first week of August, and we run it through mid-October. And then we take about a week break, and then we start either the last week of October or the first week of November, and we run Christmas until mid-December. Almost all of our preschools come back for Christmas. Then we have spring, and we run our spring session from the first week of March into the second week of May. And we actually take the last week of April and the first week of May, we devote to just coming back for our preschools that have larger pre-K, like a larger pre-K population, because we do their cap and gown. And then we started incorporating doing tucks and drapes this year. And oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that might be very Southern, because I found out that not everybody does tucks and drapes for their seniors. Mm-hmm. And for us, that's just standard. That's mandatory. And so we have started doing it for our pre-K and our kindergartners, and parents are eating them up. It's like they look like tiny little adults. So we've started doing that. And then we also come back during the summer and we do personality portraits and like color pop portraits during the summer, because a lot of the times those working parents have their school age kids there too. So that's our opportunity to come back and get those sibling shots and get individuals of each sibling. And so we actually are able to market to our schools like 4 times a year. And we don't notice a drop in sales for any particular time of year. Like if a school does all 4 like spots, they make about the same each time.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. You're in Chicago, right?
I'm in Alabama.
You're in Alabama. Okay. Alabama has the tuxedo drape modeling. Okay. Tia, what about you?
I'm the one that's in Chicago. So, so I mean, I'm a teacher and I have 2 teenagers. So selfishly, I have definitely like compartmentalized our picture day seasons to fall and to spring. And a lot of my photographers that work for me are also wedding photographers, or they have their own kids and they're taking summer vacation. So I try to preserve our summer vacation, June through August or mid-August. And then also mid-November to end of January, we're also not photographing, so that everyone can be with their families and think about their own kids' pictures. So that's just a personal lifestyle choice that I've made.
What? That's the benefit of owning your own business.
Yeah.
You get to choose when the doors are open and when they're not. It's just the way it is. Huh, Matthew? The all-around cool dude.
Mm-hmm. I always say the best part of owning your own business is you get to pick which 80 hours a week you want to work. It's the
there
best.
It is.
That's my favorite part of owning my own business.
There it is. You guys, I really want to thank you. Certainly, we each year for our audience, each year we have people that volunteer to present at our conference, and we've continued to have phenomenal speakers and engagement. The preschool thing has been wonderful. Nikki has been a major party in setting that up and making sure that things operate well in that arena. I shared with you a picture of my grandson earlier. It tickles me every time I look at it. So that's why I'm smiling again, folks. But it's been a wonderful thing for them to see. And your engagement here is incredibly valuable. We certainly hope that you put in a speaker's request or a speaker submission so that we can give consideration to you guys sharing with us more of your knowledge in a more structured format that you would be in control of. But I want to thank you for joining us today, because it's been incredibly valuable. Nikki, you've been in and out. We welcome you back again if you can get in here. There you are.
Sorry.
So I really thank you. And Matt, I truly thank you just for popping in, because it's kind of like it's spiritually lifting. Am I right, Corey?
It's nice to have Matt swing by every once in a while.
Absolutely. So thank you again, Corey. We got some end of day announcements to make? Because
Yeah,
I mean,
just a few. First of all,
people in-
Nikki, I hope that the weather in Hawaii and everybody who's been greatly affected by that weather is okay. I know that there was a lot of islands having some problem. Matt, I know that you're shoveling out of a snowstorm. Meanwhile, Calvin and I are going to be at 95 degrees on Friday because we skipped over winter completely here in Northern California. We're just arriving directly into summer, and we're not prepared for it.
well, you know,
Especially
the other
when
part,
especially when one of your friends here is in menopause, right? Does not help.
that part, this part, you know, our part of the country is a different country than other parts of the country. Okay, we're strange in so many ways, and you guys know it because you talk bad about us all the time.
It's okay. It's okay.
What
I do have
announcement you
one
got?
quick. I do have few quick things. So SPAC Chat is a two-way dialogue, folks, and
Yeah.
you are our community. So is there something you want us to talk about? Is there something that recently you've done in your business that was great or life-changing in your business standpoint? Let us know. We want to hear about it. Is there someone that you want us to interview because you're just really wanting to know some of the deep dive questions? Those are all things that you should be emailing me because we are scheduling our SPAC chats all the way through now for the rest of the year. Also, we're working on one regarding the security issues over your images online and preventing those people who have nothing better to do other than like try to screenshot your beautiful photos. So we have something coming about that. Again, if there's any topic, any person you want us to interview, you know my email, spacgal@gmail.com, and let us know. I was able today to post the panoramic photo from SPAC, which was kind of a surprise. If you were at our 70th, we actually all physically got up on the risers and we did it the old school way, which is how SPAC used to do it when they were much smaller of a conference. So this year, when you took your yearbook photo, if you took your yearbook photo, you're now part of the next gen. I don't know. What do you guys call those fancy, like shove them all together peoples? What do you guys call that? What's the term?
Excuse me.
They're composite.
Yeah, but don't even give her that. Don't even give her that. When she says words like "you guys shove it together," no, we're not having none of that. This is a professional organization. We don't shove nothing together. We delicately and artistically position subjects in a way that's appealing to the consumer.
Okay, thank you, Calvin. Thank you so much. I am not a photographer. I'm just a girl who likes to organize things for all of you and create a great community. That's my job.
I'm so sorry.
You do it so well, Corey.
Thank you. When you come to the technical stuff, I have no idea.
Is that the last one for today?
That is it, folks. Matt, do you have anything to add? All around cool dude. No, he's
Matt,
muted.
you're muted, buddy.
He's really cool because of all the snow outside.
For you guys.
Absolutely. Hey, you guys, tune into Matt's Tech Tuesdays. Matt goes over some information that's cutting edge. It's right on the edge. He has discussions and information that he's sharing with us, with our entire group, with our entire industry, about what he's observing and technology that is available are coming online and is extraordinarily valuable. He's got that energy to be able to do that and to look at all of these different genres of tools that we can use to better our environment, to better our organizations. So welcome to SPAC Chat. We're going to have two hosts now. I like it. Welcome to SPAC Chat. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. We're coming up. Is today St. Patrick's Day? You know, I see green. And Corey got on me yesterday. This is the last part of this conversation. Corey got on me yesterday and said she knows I have a green shirt. I don't have a green shirt, Corey. I do not have a single one. I was going to put a green screen as my background, but I decided not to. But sorry, no green shirt. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Get close, Calvin. I got to pinch you. Come on. You know the old saying.
Oh, a green fingernail polish. How cute. You guys have a wonderful week. Be safe and consider the idea that there is an opening in the preschool market that you may be the person to fill in your particular region. So look at that as a potential business opportunity that came from SPAC. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you.